Hey everyone, welcome back. It's that show, Lost Rush After Dark. You know, that thing that we do like every so often where we talk about everything that's not content appropriate for the anchor shows with Lost Rush Network. Hey, welcome back. I'm LeRon Dolphins here, and back with me. I swear it feels like we've been gone for a while, hasn't it?
But it's nice to be back. Distance, in a sense, makes the heart grow fonder, whatever the saying goes.
Yeah, absence makes the heart go further.
Absence.
Yeah,
There you go. Sorry.
There you go.
Distance.
There you go. Distance. I mean, that could work. All right, so hey, what's up, Stephanie Fremont? How's it going?
It's going well. I got a little bit of vacation blues, but I am happy to be back on a Wednesday night with my buddies, and especially after a typical crazy work week. So.
I mean, Corey Derrick, how you doing, man?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Kind of wishing I was still on vacation, but it's cool. No problems here.
Vacation. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. November for me.
Y'all are throwing these words out here. I don't understand.
Maybe you should take one, LeRon.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe our guest tonight, Matt Keel, can tell me what's up with this whole vacation thing. 'Cause I don't know. What's up, man?
I work in healthcare. We are in our third year of a pandemic. What the fuck is a vacation? There have been a couple of times where I've got to sleep for like multiple days. That's been cool, but
Sleep. What's that like, Matt?
I will say this. I am one of like 4 people in my x-ray department at work that has not caught COVID, so...
Knock on wood. That's crazy.
So,
I said that, and guess what? The very next week, my child brought COVID home from camp, and we all got it.
Well, I don't have one of those, so...
Yeah,
you want one? I got one if you're tired of sleeping.
Yeah, my boyfriend and I, week in and week out, keep asking ourselves, how have we not caught it at this point? Because because I have a job to where like I actually have to meet and confront people and stuff like that, and he's kind of in the same boat too, and it's like how have we managed to like survive and not get this thing yet? And now
don't question it.
I'm not really
mask or
like I know for sure I mask.
Okay.
I mask at least 90% of the time. There are some situations where I've caught myself. I've walked halfway through Target and realized, oh shit, I don't have my mask on. Stuff like that. But for the most part, usually there's a mask within like arm's distance of me. That I can put one on and stuff like that. And I am not as diligent about washing the hands, but I still do wash the hands as much as possible and hand sanitizer and stuff like that.
Wow.
But, yeah. There was a time when like if I walked out the house, checked the mailbox, I would walk back in and immediately wash my hands and stuff. Now, I am no longer like that to this point, but I still wash my hands when I've gone to shopping and had to put my hands on stuff and things like that. So yeah, I still do that. And there's always like hand sanitizer in the car. But anyway, for you guys that don't know what's up, this is Boss Rush After
COVID-19.
The alternative podcast show for the Boss Rush Network. I mean, you guys have been here long enough. You know what we do. We talk about every damn thing that's not video game related. Most times, unless we're talking about freaky video games. How's everybody's week been going? And I want to hear about the non-vacation week. I don't want to hear about the vacation and all this stuff.
You don't want to hear about my vacation, LeRon?
Hell no.
Okay.
I mean, we can make it a topic. We can make it a topic.
Nope, it's fine. This week in particular, I
changed my name to Chop Liver. Okay, great.
Where was I going with that? Oh, this week has been pretty sleepless for me. My son has, well, here's the thing. We've been trying to sleep train my son. And by we, I mean my wife.
For like 2 years.
My wife has, actually. By we, I mean my wife.
I've been trying to sleep train myself for 43 years, so...
And the vacation, he regressed a lot because he, slept with us most of the time. And Stephanie heard a little bit of it yesterday during the standard def recording, which,
He was
by the
pissed.
way, I managed to get his screaming out of the audio, so that was cool.
Nice.
But let's see. Monday night, we usually start recording Nintendo Power Block at 8:30, and we didn't start till 11 because he was screaming so loud, and he's
Nice.
from 7:45 till like 10:45, just nonstop.
I'm sorry. I know people out there listening are like, LeRon's a proponent of child abuse, but god damn it, start putting some fucking rum in like a binky or a bottle or something, and just, I'm telling you, dude.
And then
Just don't give him enough to turn him into a child alcoholic.
and then about 40 minutes later, he woke up and started screaming again.
Give him Benadryl.
Well, we gave him some. The thing is like, not only has he regressed, like sleep regressed, but he also has 4 teeth coming in.
Oh, that's so dangerous.
So he's in pain as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah. So Monday night I got, let's see, Pow Block was like 2.5 hours long, and then I edited it, so I got about 3 hours of sleep on Monday, and I slept on the couch because he was screaming, and that's the farthest place away from our bedroom. And he still woke me up like 45 minutes before I had to be up. Last night, I, on and off, probably like 3 or 4 hours-ish. So, yeah.
I don't usually make this joke, but damn, this is sound like an ad for birth control.
Yeah. Well,
Like what? Wait, okay. So, how was your daughter when she was this age? Did she also have problems falling asleep?
It wasn't this bad. Like, she did, but it was more of a, you're not with me, so I, like, she had a little bit of a hard time.
It's more of a safety blanket, maybe.
Yeah, and then she was fine with it, and then we moved her into her own room, and she kind of regressed from there a little bit, but it was never this bad. It was not this bad.
So you just got a codependent baby.
Yeah, and so thank God tonight, dude. Like, he must just be tired from the last 2 days, because before we started recording tonight, he laid on me, like, he was screaming again. I'm like, I don't want to go through this again, so I like held him. And then he laid on me, and he fell asleep on me. And thankfully, when I put him in his crib, he didn't wake up. So.
Wow.
And how old is he now?
Oh God. What is it? August?
Of course, I don't know.
No, I'm trying. He is a year.
He's sleep deprived. Give him a minute.
A year and 4 months, 5 months.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of tired, but it's okay. It's cool,
God. And then you're going to wind up having anxiety, because like eventually he's going to get to the point where he does just fall asleep on his own, and you're going to be like, is he dead? Like, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, he's past like the safety mark for SIDS, thank God. But
yeah, but you still wonder when they're like young.
Not with him.
You still wonder.
My kids snore like a tribe of elephants, right? Like, they're just, oh my gosh, you should hear them. Like, especially my daughter, she was like,
oh wow,
oh my gosh, what is that sound? And then you look in, and she's just like drooling out of her mouth, her arms hanging over the edge of the bed, like,
wow,
like a passed out sorority chick who walked home and didn't fall on the right piece of furniture to sleep on.
oh my gosh, too funny.
Don't worry. When we're doing this show 15 years from now, I'm going to be having the same conversation. So it's cool. It's fine. If I live that long, we'll see.
So Matt, how you been since the last time we saw you? Because we haven't seen you in a while.
He's wearing the same shirt, so.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's little do you know, I've actually been sitting in this chair so long that my ass is now attached.
You've combined yourself.
All I can do is spin now.
Yeah.
No.
Instead of a mirror, he uses his webcam to shave because his ass is just attached to it.
No, my wife comes in and does it. No. And Bagel just yells at me. No. I've been well. I've been busy working as an X-ray tech at a major hospital in Philadelphia, and it has not slowed down for us. So I am also rather tired. But we'll say this. We have multiple places, so there will be times where I have to leave work to go to like walk a block to another facility and do x-rays over there. Before the end of my shift, I was walking back to clock out and change and whatnot. And a random man asked me if I was missing testicles today.
Oh.
This sounds like it's about to be one of Stoy's stories.
And
I have one of them.
I kept walking. I'm like, I am not doing this. I just want to go home. But just walking down Walnut Street in Philly, and man goes, "So, missing any testicles today?" I'm like,
Matt's like, not my monkeys, not my circus.
I'm like, I mean, is he making a joke that I'm married? I don't know what's happening here. And then I just walked back. I clocked out. I came home, and I have been all the better for it. But that happened. So yeah.
Yikes.
Not even close to the weirdest thing that has been said at work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not even close to the weirdest thing I've seen at work. So,
Just
But
part
somehow
of the life of a healthcare worker.
oh yes. Luckily, like, I keep most of that to myself because whenever I do tell the story that whenever someone asks what's the weirdest thing you've seen, I'm like, I can't tell you the weirdest thing I've seen because the weirdest thing I've seen will blow your goddamn mind.
I could make a great tell-all.
The weirdest thing I've seen is probably one of the reasons I still drink. Like,
Wow.
Oh, okay.
well, you got to remember. I see people die. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, LeRon, military, yes.
Yes.
Active duty, yes.
Active duty.
So, like, you and I have that in common, but we have vastly different careers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Never seen anybody die, but I have seen some people get fucked up. And when I say fucked up, I mean, like, you learn if you have a problem seeing the sight of blood. I don't really have that problem, thank God. But and it's funny because like I watch movies and stuff, and like gore gets to me. Oh my God! But like seeing in real life doesn't really faze me that much because like I've gone through advanced CPR things where I've had to actually like stick my hand like basically inside a sucking chest wound to keep people alive and stuff like that and stuff like that. So yeah, so that doesn't really get to me, but seeing it in TV shows and movies, whew.
but see, like there is even with the training, like I think you said you have advanced CPR. I only have basic as a rad tech.
Really, you would think like working in hospitals, you would at least have like what? Well, advanced CPR is stage 4 CPR, right?
Yeah. So, and I'm not going to be the one that needs to say, "Hey, we need to trach this person." I'm not qualified to make that call.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
So, like, I'm basically like I can keep someone technically alive until proper medics get there. Like, those are my qualifications.
Yeah, I am afraid of cracking someone's sternum just to keep them alive. But you know what? If I have to do it, I have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, every CPR instructor I've ever had has said if you don't crack the sternum, you're not really doing it.
Yeah.
So. But the funny thing is, they also say that if you want to be optimistic, you do chest compressions to the rhythm of staying alive.
Yeah.
But if you want to be realistic, you'll do chest compressions to Another One Bites the Dust.
I've never heard that before.
So
I've heard the Staying Alive one, but
Wow.
I've never heard the
Yeah.
One Bites the Dust one.
well, they're the same tempo.
Yeah.
So like that's
Wow. I can see that.
So wait,
Yeah.
wait. Okay, so the compressions are to the beat, and then Another One Bites the Dust is that's the part where you actually like blow into their nostrils.
no. Well, I think it's basically it's just referring to the drum beats in each song. They're the same. But like there's an inherited amount of trauma that comes with that.
Oh, for sure.
Like, is it? I mean, I've had family members say to a group of individuals who have just watched their family member die, and they've seen 15, 20 people around trying to keep that person alive, and each one of them, the family members, just said, "I don't know how you guys do this," and we're just like, I mean, training, but also like I'll be honest. I sometimes wonder how we do it as well. And I'm not even nearly as involved in those situations as some of the others that are present. But yeah, when you see several of those in one day, it mounts. It mounts. And then it also depends on the demographics.
Oh man, like
it also depends on the demographics of the patient too.
Yeah.
Like
wow, you just made me realize something. Recently I was at the VA hospital because I get a lot of my regular primary care through the VA.
Yeah.
And one day I was there, man, and while I was sitting there just waiting to get some stuff done and everything, I kid you not, like I heard them call for code like 4 different times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And when there's that many, maybe one of them made it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But yeah, no, it's difficult. It's challenging. It's still a job, despite all of that. I really love, just because the idea and process of taking an X-ray is fun to me. But yeah, it does not stop the burnout. So
yeah.
That's not everything I've been up to, though. I've actually been doing a lot of reading this year.
Nice.
So proper After Dark content. I've been reading this book called Dark Archives. The subtitle of the book is The History of the Art of Binding Books with Human Skin.
Oh. Okay.
Now, if any Evil Dead fans in the chat have heard me say that, they're like, "Oh, the Necronomicon." No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual books that were bound by skin from humans that were alive at one point. And this book has, I mean, it's honestly very fascinating from an archive standpoint. Like, it's not a practice, at least that I know of, that happens widely anymore. I don't think it's really happened since the turn of the 20th century. So at least I think the last time that the author stated it was prominent was like mid 1800s. But some of the stories in this book are kind of wild. Do you remember when major companies and corporations had blogs? Yeah, I don't either. But there's an anecdote in this book about how the often constantly quiet Harvard blog posted one day in 2014 that they have a book that has been proven to be bound by human skin.
Oh, wow.
And that sort of went viral in terms of like a blog at a prestigious university. And it just brought forth just a wide array of comments going, well, you should take the skin off the book and bury it out of respect for the dead. And the author is asking the appropriate questions in terms of like thinking about the scientific method. Like, okay, so what do we do with this? But also, why should it be kept? Why should it be destroyed? What is the present day value of this book, and how can we go and find the history of all of this? And because most of the time, the way a book like that ends up in Harvard, it's because a doctor from a long, long time ago, 1800s or so, when doctors were paid stupid amounts of money and they could just be rich forever. They would die and their possessions would be passed down to next of kin, but eventually that next of kin runs out, and it just, a lot of that stuff ends up in university hands because of that. So the work of the author, who I believe is a PhD as well. She's a PhD librarian, and she's very interested in the history of this. And I'm like a quarter of the way through this book, so I don't really know like how everything sort of ends up, but it is being told almost in a narrative fashion, and it is less gross than the title lends. But this book has sort of made me think, man, doctors with a serious rare book collection might be someone to stay away from.
Yeah.
Because those are the folks that tend to get books bound by people.
Oh, gosh.
Now, in keeping macabre, there was one story I actually found. I was like, oh, because this doctor was, his wife had this favorite book that she just loved to read. She read it constantly. And this was, I believe, 1860s, like almost like just post Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
She passed suddenly and young, and a colleague of that doctor had her favorite book just sort of rebound.
With
Skin
of her
of a woman, and it was just like book of romance poems, essentially. And I'm like, part of me initially said like, oh, that's kind of a nice. Wait, no, that's just fucking gross. Like,
Yeah.
why did they think this was? Why did these individuals think this was cool? And you know, when a book has me thinking like that, I tend to be more invested and engaged. But I've also read a lot of Berserk, so
I was wondering what those were.
I've also that's most of the deluxe editions of the Berserk reprinting. If you're interested in getting into manga, that's a very good one.
Okay.
Speaking of bound, aren't we bound to talk about our patrons tonight?
Ooh, nice transition.
No.
Will they be bound in humans? No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross. Don't pay us in money, please. But if you want to support Boss Rush After Dark, as well as the things on the Boss Rush Network, you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. If you don't know what that is, it's a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators and receive perks at different tiers. We have a $1 tier where you get early access to this show as well as 3 others. And we also have a $5 tier, which grants you early access plus a Patreon producer credit. What does that mean? It means we shout you out on this here program during this segment, as well as other things here. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of Boss Rush After Dark are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our free listeners. Fun fact, After Dark is Patreon's favorite show, according to a recent poll on Twitter and on Patreon.
I hope I didn't ruin that with my...
I really misheard that just now, because I heard the word poll and I did not think.
LeRon's always thinking about the poll, guys.
Mhm.
I am.
I can see it in your eyes.
It's so
Literally,
fun.
I can see the reflection of
It's so
what you're
fun.
watching.
I am not watching anything. Don't even try that.
Oh, man. If you listen on free feeds, we would appreciate it if you left Boss Rush After Dark a 5-star rating and review. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it really helps with discoverability and helps the show grow. And we all want that. We want to be a grower, not a shower.
Precisely.
You know? So, anyways, back to you, LeRon, or Matt, or Stephanie, or someone.
Does someone have a topic? Or you know what? Your topic was you were going to tell us about your vacation. Do it, man.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Man.
You've been so excited all night to talk about this vacation. Let's get into
Talk
it.
about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now he doesn't know what to say.
I wasn't really excited to talk about it. I was
Don't
just
be
expecting
shy.
you guys to ask me about it, and then I didn't talk about it. So,
Hey Corey.
yeah,
How was your vacation, man?
it was fine.
It's alright.
No, it was fun. It was good to get away because spoilers. The last episode, I thought I was just gonna go have a panic attack and cry in the middle of the floor. After we recorded, which I kind of did, but it's fine. It was good to get away. It was good to just kind of like hang out with the family and play some games and do family stuff. And we went to Rehoboth Beach in Delaware.
Okay.
So it's
Rehoboth.
Yeah,
No.
Rehoboth. Yeah.
Rehoboth, whatever. I don't know. Delaware, whatever. So actually on the way there was actually pretty terrible because our air conditioning unit went out in the car, and it
Oh
was
crap.
in the low 90s when we left, and
Oof.
so we stopped to, and it turned out that it needed like recharged, the air conditioning unit, but then they overcharged it, and the computer system in the car needed reset to the point
Seriously? Wow.
where like we had it on like it was when we stopped to take a break, because we were taking breaks like every hour because my kids were getting sick. It was so hot. And like we just had to stop and go into like stores with air conditioning, and we ended up buying a bunch of fans and waited till like evening to drive the rest of the way. And my daughter threw up because she got sick, and because it was so hot. We got it fixed when we got there, but the computer system needed reset. And it was a terrible time on the way there. But the rest of the vacation was fine. It was fun. We went to the beach. We got a bunch of food. We played some carnival games and that kind of thing. We went mini golfing. My daughter's first time mini golfing, which was interesting. She would hit the ball, and then she would just keep hitting it, and then she would see if we were looking, and then she would just pick it up and kick it into the hole or whatever. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good time, and yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
You got to hang out in that place you don't like to be at, the beach.
Yeah, sand is gross. The ocean water is also very gross. But it was fun for the kids, and they played in the sand and built sand castles and tunnels and threw sand at each other, because my wife's sister and her family went as well, and their kids went. And so all the kids got to play together, and it was... I'm surprised, like, it's weird because like you never know how kids are gonna act on like a first vacation when they're like cognizant or because like last time we went on vacation was pre-pandemic, and my daughter was like 1. Bagel. Uh,
Aw,
uh,
so cute.
and so like she just kind of was like a lumpy child, like a year old maybe. And so like now that she's 4, and we went to there's this little like boardwalk kind of I don't want to call it a carnival because it wasn't really a carnival, but like there was like rides and like arcadey games and like skee ball and claw machines and the little squirt gun games and like carnival games, I guess. My daughter won 7 stuffed animals, like
Wow.
from these carnival games, and she rode the rides all the rides she was tall enough for, which was unexpected. It was funny because there's these cars like they just go around in circle or whatever, but they're really fast and like they go forwards and then the second half they go backwards. And so like when they were going around back, like right before they started going backwards, the operator yells, "We're going backwards!" And then once they start going backwards, my daughter was like, "Backwards!" like as loud as she could.
Oh.
Really funny. So, yeah, we were there for like 6 days, I think, and my daughter lasted 5.5 of them without having a breakdown. So it was good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, she had a pretty big breakdown when we were leaving miniature golf because she wanted to go back to the hotel, which was like 15 minutes away, but she didn't want to get in the car, but she wanted dinner, but we had to get in the car to go to dinner and then go back to the hotel, but she didn't want to get in the car. It was like a, but that was the only time there was like a breakdown. So overall success, I think.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Was there a highlight of the vacation?
Nah, I mean, not. I mean, I wouldn't say there was like anything that like really stood out. It was just kind of like,
Okay.
it was relaxing, I guess. I don't know. The hotel room was pretty nice though.
That's good.
It was like one of those nice rooms that has like 3 separate rooms in it, and the bathroom's kind of big, and just kind of like one of those.
Had
rooms.
yourself a suite.
Kinda. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean the food was pretty good too. I had these Cajun shrimp tacos that were pretty good.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I wish that, but the thing is like they cost like $18 or $20, and they only give you 2. And it's like, come on, you couldn't just give me 3. I'm not.
Were they sizable portions or?
Not really. Not really. I mean, they were just like a normal sized taco, I would say. I don't know, but they were good. They had like this cilantro lime chipotle sauce drizzled on them.
That does sound good.
And some Cajun slaw is what it was called. It was like this coleslaw, like this kind of spicy coleslaw on it too. So it was really good. We also ate a lot of boardwalk pizza. Look, I like pizza. I like pizza, but we ate it like 4 times on this trip because of the kids, and it's like, come on. After like twice, I'm like, I love pizza as much as the next guy, but like 4 times in 7 days is like, oh, I just want to like not eat pizza.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, like me, I could still. I could probably wake up and eat pizza for every meal. I could probably eat the same pizza.
Yeah. We also had French fries like every day too because of the kids.
See, that I would get tired of for sure.
It was kind of tired. The one thing though, we found this Mediterranean place, like just kind of like this hole in the wall place, and we were looking, and they had like shawarma and gyros and whatever else, right? They had a gyro quesadilla.
Ooh.
I mean, it was basically just like a gyro, but like in a quesadilla form. But the melted feta cheese inside and the tomatoes and onions chopped up inside and like this seasoning on the wrap that they grilled it in. Because they grilled the wrap in like, quesadilla. Oh, it was so good. I posted it in the Snack Nintendo channel in the Discord. But, it was so delicious. And they dip it in the tzatziki sauce. Oh, tzatziki sauce is the best.
Yeah, tzatziki rules.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So that was my vacation. It was good.
Sounds pretty good.
I kind of like half dreaded coming home. I was like, oh man, there's so much to do. So.
All right, so I'm gonna be that guy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I love it when LeRon's that guy.
LeRon's always
Corey
that guy.
was so super excited to tell us about his vacation. So I was here and thinking, the heavens and the earth moved for him on this vacation and whatnot. I thought he was going to say something like, to the fact like he got so super rested that he came back ready to just go to war, with podcasting and stuff. Because remember this guy 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
We told Corey the thing.
What, you mean Baron von Burnout over here?
Yeah, we told Corey the thing that was going to happen was going to happen, and it happened. And then he went on vacation.
Yeah.
I did.
So I was expecting like he went skydiving, and he went what's the thing where you like swim in like a lake that's iced over and stuff like that?
Nope.
Yeah, dude had a spa day where it was just him, in a robe with a heated towel over his head and stuff. Like,
sounds like he needs a vacation from his vacation.
I feel like you're projecting a lot of you onto Corey, LeRon.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I feel like the best vacation I can have right now is like I go away for a weekend and just rent a hotel room that has like a big enough bathtub that I can soak myself in, and that's just my weekend. You don't do shit. You don't even want to be bothered by room service.
Yeah, but the thing is like when you go on vacation as a parent, especially somewhere that's like semi-dangerous, like the beach, like they can wander off and whatever. Like
you need to always be on your guard.
Yeah, there's not really a break, and so like even when you're on a break, you're kind of like, Plus when you have a son that doesn't sleep, it also. And then your daughter wakes you up in the middle of the night to tell you that she pooped.
What you and your wife need then is you and your wife just go on a vacation, leave the kids with grandparents.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Okay.
No, my wife doesn't trust the grandparents to watch them for.
Oh, wait. Well, what about her parents then? What about her parents?
No, I'm saying both sides.
Oh God.
Oh.
So
y'all married into each other's families?
Man. So I don't know. Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. It's still just like a lot of work though, Especially, I didn't even do anything and it felt like work. My wife planned the whole thing and got us all ready and did all the things and But that was her first vacation in like 3.5 years, and she was really happy. So
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, now does somebody have a topic?
You do. I heard you did, LeRon.
What's your topic, LeRon?
All right, so
we could do dramatic readings of terrible short stories again.
Yes, LeRon, we can do that.
No. Okay, all right. So we're gonna have a fun topic tonight. At least for me tonight. So what's your go-to song whenever you go to like a party that you just want to dance like a hoe?
Oh God, I'm out.
Dance like a hoe. I'm gonna go old school with any 80s rock like Def Leppard. And it's like, hate to say it, but
why did I seriously say 80s rock? I'm sorry, like, why is he about to say cherry pie?
I know. When she said
Warren,
80s rock, that's exactly what I thought too.
That too. Any of that category. If like, yes.
Oh, pour some sugar on me.
Yes.
What else? What else you got?
When I do pole class and
Rockin', yeah.
when I'm in pole class, I'm most energized by like 80s rock than like pop or rap. Like when we're doing choreography. I'm telling you.
Okay.
The Stroke by Billy Squier. Yeah, there you go.
Oh. Corey's
right.
What you should do is you should mix it up a little bit and just put Run DMC in there, more of their rocky cuts. Put on Rockbox. Put on King of Rock. It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe not Walk This Way because it's overplayed, but Rockbox and King of Rock are a good time.
Wow.
So LeRon,
novel stuff in my head.
what's your hoe dance song?
Was my hoe dance?
I want to see his hoe dance. I don't care about the song.
No. No, that's night. That's night. I'm not in the mood. Like I just completely recovered from everything that's wrong with me. So like no more bad rotator cuff. Like I can walk straight now because like whatever was wrong with my leg recently, is finally filled up and everything. I'm not trying to like
brag about how good you feel, LeRon. Keep going.
I mean, I actually do feel pretty good. Even though like I had doctor's appointment yesterday, and I got a new primary care physician. And I like the dude. I think he's gonna be good for me. Stuff like that. Gave me a freaking like Tdap shot, the freaking tetanus shot, and oh my god, like it's not on my fucking arm, just won't stop hurting.
That's one of the most painful vaccinations.
That's the Tdap.
Yeah. Thank God it only happens once every 10 years. Yeah. All right. So let's see some of my horse fucking songs here. Let me see.
Horse songs.
Let's see. Touch It by Monifa.
There you go.
Buttons by Pussycat Dolls. Low. Low by Flowrider.
Oh, Apple Bottom Jeans.
Yep.
It's the fur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does that song not surprise me?
Yeah. Wait, what? Wow. Okay, Corey. Thanks. Jeez.
You're welcome.
What else we got? Let me see. Any of those freaking like see, I like to dance, and like it's even worse when I have a couple of drinks and stuff like that. So like I wind up becoming like that guy at the party, like if the music's right and I'm tipsy enough, like I'm out there trying to dance and trying to get at least 2 or 3 people to dance with me and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's always I'm fun at parties, like I don't hug the wall and I don't do any of that stuff. Like I go out and mingle. This is my boyfriend off because my boyfriend's introverted. so it's just literally one of those things. Is like if you leave me one more time, I'm just gonna have fun. And the sad part is like he's always the one bringing me to these events, and so it's like you set yourself up because you know how I am. Like I don't get wild, but I go out there, I do my thing, and I come back.
Well, can I just mention one thing about dancing? Well, I'm not really graceful, so I've never really been a good dancer. And so I don't know, throughout the awkward years of high school and college, I've had friends like trying to teach me how to dance at these dances. And the more I try to learn, I reached a threshold where they'd stop and tell me that I look like I'm having sex or something. Like it was just like very sexual, like movements or something. So I'm like, okay, there's no like hard line to draw here.
Actually, honestly, okay. Like if you're not doing like orchestrated dances, like they say orchestrated dances like line dance types of dances or stuff like that. Just choreographed dances and stuff like that. Honestly, the best expression in dance is the ones where you're basically like you're basically like into yourself. I feel like people like when they dance to enjoy themselves, like they always look good dancing no matter what the hell they're doing. Like even like people are doing like the stupidest fucking dances. Like hey, like they're doing a thing. Like I can't mess with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and honestly, like getting into a zone where you actually, if your dance is looking sexual, that means you're basically enjoying yourself and you're having a mind body moment. So like that's the way I've always felt. Besides, like I feel like I kind of like dance with myself anyway when I'm dancing, whether I'm dancing with somebody else or I'm just out there doing my thing on the floor.
All right, I feel a bit better, but
Corey's still being quiet. You got something, man.
I don't.
Come on, dude. You had a Randy College phase. Come on.
Just play it on the nose and say nookie, and we can move on.
I knew something like that was coming from you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know music well enough to tell you. I just don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. We're talking to Corey Garrick. I forgot.
Yeah, you are.
So I'm somewhere. I think I'm somewhere between Stephanie and LeRon as a dancing person. Like when I'm out at a social event, I'm pretty boisterous. I'm pretty, social. I'm a mingler. I will talk to people. In public, I'm also cis, straight, and white. So that I'll hold that against me as well. But like in public, my coordination doesn't really get far beyond like the head bob and maybe like shifting of the shoulders, possibly some hip movements. But I can't guarantee that will be on rhythm or even look good. At home, though.
Uh-oh.
At home, like...
Oh, here we go. He's a freak.
At home, I am a fucking goofball. And I think one of the reasons my wife loves having me around is because there will be some morning, like if we're sleeping in on a Sunday morning and one of us has music on, like the other week I did twerk to Joni Mitchell.
Wow.
So that could happen. Usually like
hold on. That just reminded me, freaking like Edge of 17, Stevie Nicks. I would throw down.
But if I had to pick a song that I would obnoxiously like do some sort of lascivious dance to, it would be Too Close by Next. Like, and I will just put it right on the nose. A song about getting a boner while dancing. Sure, I'm gonna.
You are definitely a cishet white dude. Yeah,
but like,
that song gets the white dudes on the floor at
oh, it does. It still does. That and like Nelly's Hot in Here still does it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
But like, so not to get a little bit too revealing, but I am the most like ready to dance like right after I've showered.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the bathtub, but it's just like I get out of the tub and I'm like, it's time to have some fun. I could
he's already stripped, so he might as well go for it.
I could be in the shittiest mood. I could hate the world and everybody in it. I could hate every reason why I exist on this planet, but for some reason, once I get out of the shower, if the right song plays on my phone, I will cut the bathroom rug up for a while.
I dance in the shower. I usually by the time I get out the shower,
we don't have a mat in our shower, so I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I don't have one either, so like I don't do a lot of crazy ass foot movement, but yeah, like I do some movement. This topic is bored, Corey.
I'm just listening. I'm just like, I'm literally about to staple my eyelids open because I'm so tired.
Aww.
Uh-oh.
it is getting kind of late, but we haven't said enough to fill like the space of one after dark. So we'd be doing our listeners an injustice if we were to cut it off right now. Who's got another topic?
So I've got a more heartwarming topic, I'll say.
Cool.
Sure.
Lay it on us.
You ever think about the ones that got away?
Every now and then.
Do you have a one that got away and then like you look at them now and you're just like, I'm just happy for them?
I want to say yes, but
Like-
none of them. Nobody comes to mind. That's the problem.
So like I mean, I'm not going to reveal too much information about, but like every so often I'll think like Reba it's my second go around the marriage block, and I dated several people in between her and my prior wife, and there are a couple of girls I think like I'm not on Facebook anymore, but when I still was, I would just look them up, just say, not really like talk to them because I know they pretty much don't want to talk to me, and that's cool.
Oh snap!
It's mutual. Like I don't really have shit to say to them either. But like while we were together, I'm like, the time together was not wasted. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a poor time. I don't think, despite that, I probably wasn't right for them. They probably weren't right for me. We were able to find common ground when we were together. But I would look them up and be like, oh, she looks happy. Cool. I'm happy about that. Yeah. And I think the woman I dated right before I met Reba, I just every so often I find myself thinking about her, and I'm like, you know what? I know where she's at now. I know that like she's married, has a child, and I'm just very happy that happened for her. I knew it probably wouldn't have happened with me, and I feel like that had the potential to be a point of contention for both of us. But it just makes me happy that sometimes you can come across people in your life like that, and it's not really like an acrimonious split, but it's also not perfect match. And you can kind of look at them and be like, look, those people have found their way in life. And I like thinking about that.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, you're not in the mind frame of having kids. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I probably wouldn't have done that with them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you say like one that got away, is it
Mhm.
just a scenario that we walked away from, or it could also be vice versa? Because I not to at the expense of sounding pathetic, the majority of my relationships, I was the one that got dumped. Like,
Same here.
I was just dumped, so I didn't have a choice. They
Same
were
here.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, LeRon.
Oh, I was just about to say, out of most of the relationships I've been in, I can only remember one where it was like an amicable split. Like, like it was like we both agreed to like walk away, and it was because we hit this just, it wasn't even like a hurdle. Like it was back when I was in the military, and we were both at this crossroads where we were both up for orders. We were both leaving the area, stuff like that. So it was one of the situations like one of us would either have to get out of the military and just get married to this person. We were basically at this point where we couldn't figure out like what to do. Yeah, so that's the only like breakup I've had where I actually had like an actual hand in confirming that it happened. Every other one I've had so far has been, I got dumped.
Yeah. I mean, I've been, I would say all, but I think maybe one I've been dumped. So yeah.
Well, what I know for sure though is like when you're the person that's getting dumped all the time, like it really fucks you up going into your next relationship.
Thank you.
Because the current relationship I'm in now, and I know eventually I'm going to tell my current boyfriend this. Like, I'm going to tell him, like, like, hey, like when we started talking, like, I didn't know how serious to take it. Because like I was still like honestly like he was the first person I dated in like three, well, not the first person I dated, but it took me about 3 years after the breakup to actually put myself back out there to date. It was because like like I was in this self-assessment mode, for like why, and like you definitely start doing it the older you get, because like I was in my mid 40s when that last one happened and stuff like that, and I was there for like shit, like if this keeps going, like I'm gonna be lonely.
Mm.
And yeah, so it was like I had to start self-assessing. I was like, okay, why am I always getting dumped? Like, what is it I'm doing? Come to find out, like, like the last relationship that, like it wasn't my fault at all. Like, I mean, like, like I probably contributed like 10% of the reason why I got dumped. Yeah, so that's how that is. But the crazy part is like, like I'm not a toxic person, but after reading up some stuff, like after I finally like got to the point where I was ready to move on from whatever was going on with that relationship and stuff, like I learned that a toxic trait that a person can have, being the ex in a relationship, is going to the other person trying to get closure. Like that's a toxic trait. Like it doesn't seem like it's toxic, but it's a toxic trait, because like if the person decides they want to move on from you, like they don't, like if they didn't give you an answer for why they moved on, they don't have to give you an answer after they've moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
and like I know it sucks. I know somebody's probably out there listening right now, and I know it sucks to hear this, that like you might wind up being one of the walking wounded for a while, but honestly, like if the person's not willing to give you an answer for why like the relationship ended, like you can't badger them to find out.
Yeah. I I so back to kind of like, yeah, I'm happy for this person. The girl I dated in college was like, in when I lived in Columbus, was we were together for a while, and when I moved home we broke up, but it's because like she lived closer to like Cincinnati and I live up closer to Cleveland, and like for people who don't know, that's like a 3.5 to 4.5 hour trip, depending on traffic and when you drive or whatever. And bagel, bagel, uh, and we kind of kept in touch over the years after, but like she had moved on and I had kind of found someone here, and there was a point where like we were both kind of mad about it, but we didn't really know why we were mad about it, and then we became like it was one of those things where like Facebook was really the only social media platform around at the time, and we were like unfriend whatever, one of those petty things, but like
Mhm.
once in a while she would like text me and I would text her back, and or I would text her and she would text me back or whatever. And like a couple years went by, and then uh the relationship I was in had kind of ended abruptly. I told that story a while ago on the show, but like, and then we kind of were, she reached out to me and we kind of talked a little bit, and she actually came up to visit me, and we like had dinner and talked about a lot of things in our relationship, and it was like a nice kind of, you always look for closure on a relationship, and that was kind of like a really nice ending to like our questions about why it ended and how. And we were young, and I moved home, and I, whatever, we were 19, 20, whatever. And then when we were like mid-ish 20s, like 25, 26, 27-ish, and we talked about it, and we're friends to this day now, like, I mean, we're not like talking to each other every day or whatever, but like, like once in a while, like she'll comment on a picture or I'll comment on something on Instagram, or, she'll just say, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" And she's married and has 3 kids, and she's an anesthesiologist at a hospital, and
Dang.
it was kind of like, I'm kind of glad it ended the way it did, and we can be friendly. And I don't know, it feels like that not that I wish every relationship ended like this, because I've been with some crazy people, but like, that's one that I'm like, we had our time together. It was fun. I'm glad that you're happy and I'm happy, and we're just kind of friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going back real fast, like the last relationship, like we're friends, we're friendly and stuff like that. It's funny. It's funny how like some things turn out. Right now they're going through some stuff, trying to figure things out and stuff. And like, I'm not saying this like brag, because like I like, even though like I'm in a pretty good solid relationship right now. Yeah, like this is not me like saying haha, like look where I'm at now, stuff like that. But we're like, me and my ex, we're friendly and stuff, and we talk to each other from time to time and stuff like that. Like, he'll reach out to me or I'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's been a while since I checked up on any of my exes. Like, I don't know, like I think for myself, it's better for my mental stability that I don't always check up on these people.
Yeah. I'm that
Yeah.
way. I believe every person has their own rules, because my mom tries to impose her rules on me. For example, like, this is the stupidest rule. She says men and women cannot be friends. Like, that is such an old,
Yeah.
dated. But so anyway, where I was going with that is, my personal rule is, unless there's an extreme exception, I just can't be friends with an ex. Not to say that I need to be enemies with the ex, but I just have like a mental deficit or psychological deficit where it's just better off that I just peacefully walk away. I mean, I don't like burning bridges. Like, I don't. Like, I never do, like, fuck you, go to hell, I
Yeah.
hate you,
Yeah.
die. No, it's just like, let's.
I don't think that's a deficit. I think that's just a boundary.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't think that's a deficit at all.
But if I were to think of a couple situations, well, first of all, would be my first marriage. He is the father of my only child. I was ultimately the one that initiated the divorce. So there is an occasion once in a while where I do wonder, like, would it have better if I stayed? I not necessarily coming from the I love him factor, because I don't really love him in a romantic sense,
Mm-hmm.
but more like, well, he's still a good person, and he's the father of my child. Which, again, that's not like to say, that's not like it's a reason to get back together with anyone. That's why I don't really take it seriously. But it does cross my mind. I'm like, what if I was not patient enough and I should have stuck around? It's a lot of that mentality of, ooh, when you go through divorce. I don't know if you've had that, Matt. Like, even though if you
I don't
know,
have kids, so like, I mean, my ex Deanna and I, all we had from the marriage was a car and a dog. So, we shared custody of the dog until he passed last year. But other than that, like, she and I are. I mean, I still consider her a friend. Like, we were together for like 14 years between dating and 8 years of marriage. So, mine's close to that, but I feel like, and I can't. I'm not a parent, so I'm not like trying to tell you your business. I'm just guessing, but I feel like the fact that you both have your son together, like, I'll bet you there's some of that conflating with
oh yeah,
with the relationship.
I would definitely say you're accurate with that assessment. So that's why, when I do have that thought, I'm like, oh yeah, you shouldn't stay in a marriage just because of that. I mean,
Yeah.
just, yeah. But so there's that, and then there was one particular ex that really just screwed up kind of my perception of dating for the longest time. In fact, it was kind of, because of him that I just maybe wasn't making the best choices in a partner when I met my ex-husband, not that he was a bad guy. And it was doomed from the start because this ex was also like a mentor of mine. So he was older, he was in the pharmacy field, probably not a good reason to get together. And I thought, we still kind of dated, and I thought he was the one. But found out, he was gaslighting me, and he ended up leaving me for his ex. And I found out by bumping into that ex's mom. It was like this whole crazy thing. And I had a hard time recovering from that breakup, and I really wanted to seek closure, LeRon. And I know that, like, man, I wish I didn't chase that so hard. And I think because of that, like, that's why we're not really in touch. Every once in a while, I think about him in a sense, like, oh, I wonder what my life would have been like if things actually worked out with him. He, for example, he was one that never wanted kids, and at that time, I never wanted to have kids, and it would be nice to kind of see if I ever bumped into him, like, have a nice, how do you say, like, a amicable chat and see how he's doing. But every time I run through a potential scenario or two, I'm like, I'm glad I kind of went through this thought process, this thought puzzle, but I'm good where I am right now.
Yeah, like I don't really do. And I was using the one that got away as sort of a catch-all for.
Yeah, sorry, that was fine.
No, that's fine. I wanted it to be a catch-all rather than did you have one that it just didn't happen with or whatever, because sometimes you're just looking at everything through rose-colored glasses anyway. Like, where you're just like, oh, my life would have definitely been better had I asked that person out or gone out on a date with that person or whatever. But it was more just because recently, because of just things in the personal life that have happened, I really can't talk about. But those thoughts have crept into my head, and the only exes it creeps in with are the ones that I felt there was a mutual benefit on each side of the relationship. Like, we've all had people we've dated and stayed with, or we've all had relationships we've been in, and they lasted past a certain point for reasons we don't understand why. Like, a lot of my early partners, I was like, they would last for like a year and a half. And now, if I knew then what I know now, I would have left them like at 4 months. Yeah. Because neither of us were giving the other. There was absolutely, like, it was just someone to go out on a date with regularly. Like, that's really all it was. When we could have just been friends going to dinner, we had to wrap ourselves up in all that extra nonsense. Yeah. But yeah, lately, like, that has been popping into my head, and I just thought I'd talk about it a little bit. Hopefully that was okay, considering I started this talking about books bound in human skin.
It all comes back to that, huh? Maybe Matt's trying to tell us what happened to his exes and all those books behind him bound in their skin.
No. I don't have that kind of time, patience, or knowledge. Yeah, no.
I like how he led with that, no, that's gross.
Well, it's not really gross because you don't know what I've seen in my job.
It's fair, I guess. I don't know, it's all gross.
Oh yeah, the body is weird and gross.
It's gross. Oh man.
I can only imagine how gross it is when you're a parent.
You just get so used to poop and pee and farts and puke and just everything.
Yeah.
Just part of normal speak now. Like, this is how it is. Like, I am now dating someone. He does not have any children, and it got to a situation where his stomach was hurting him, and he's like, oh, God, I need to leave the room. I'm like, why? He's like, oh, I don't want to pass gas in front of you. I'm like, dude, I have a 6-year-old boy. I don't care if you let one rip. Just let me know it's coming. And he's like, I don't feel comfortable yet. I'm like, just so you know, it's okay, though.
Man, bodily fluids and functions and sounds and interesting. It's weird.
The circle of life, as Elton John was.
It's true.
All right. Anything else? Anything else to talk about tonight?
No.
Huh?
Play genital jousting.
It is in my what do you call it? Shopping cart. Thank you for that.
Well, fam, I think we've done it.
Right.
Another wonderful show.
It's always
Go ahead and
wonderful.
wrap up. Oh yeah.
I love all you guys.
I mean, I think I
like.
like coming here. This is fun.
I know.
You should come more often. Like,
Yeah,
take
dude.
take that any way you want.
Yeah.
Once a month.
In all the ways I will do that, LeRon. No.
Just like Anflo.
Is Matt our Ant Flo? But you have to wear the joke. The joke on this show, though, is that every time you come on, you have to wear that shirt. You're not allowed to wear another shirt on this entire run.
Yeah, well, if I ever come on and it's like the dead of winter, I'll wear the hoodie version that I have because I do have that.
A hoodie version? That's awesome.
Yeah. I know. Before we go, I feel like I've been such a Debbie Downer the last couple weeks or so, and I just
here it comes.
Appreciate you guys and love you guys,
Aww.
all of you.
Aww.
You too.
There
Right
it
back
is.
at you, buddy. Right back at you.
So, that's all. I don't feel like LeRon making fun of me anymore tonight, so I'll just leave it at that.
Have I been making fun of him?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to
We
say
were all
that.
in our best. Okay, maybe not our
Yeah,
best.
I think we were very nice to you. Like, honestly, I think it's more like we're walking on eggshells around you.
Why?
God, we don't have another breakdown on this, brother.
Okay, that's only happens like once every 3 months.
That sounds a little too frequent.
I know it is.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that being able to have it around people you respect and trust is a healthy thing.
I agree. I agree with that. Okay, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. As always, it's always been fun. Matt, thank you for returning to After Dark. Like, we love you and we appreciate you, and I don't know if we love you as much as Corey loves you, but we love you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only advantage he has is time at this point.
Look, we
and he's met me in person, so
yeah, we shared whiz and onions together.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you tried it, Stephanie.
No, I'm not knocking it.
Okay.
Just like, well, that's a bond I have not yet experienced.
Yeah. All right. So before we head out, Matt, you want to let everybody know how they can find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me at @infinite_rewind everywhere I want to be. That's generally Twitter and Instagram. It's also my handle on several gaming platforms, PSN, Steam. It's also it's my name on Switch, but it's not my friend code. I don't have that memorized, and I'm not doing it. So, but I also do co-host a few podcasts. One is called Story Route Zero, where we talk about video games that we're playing. Another is called Freereeling It, where my buddy Jesse and I talk about movies. And another is Trivial Merit, where my friend Caroline and we talk about music, where we make 8-song playlists to get us from a negative mood to a positive one. I do want to plug one other thing. Oh wait, no, I'm also a part of the Bald Gun Guy podcast on Scanline Media. That is a replay of the modern Hitman trilogy. We're almost done with Hitman 2. Then we'll get through the DLC and then go to 3. Caroline, my co-host on Trivial Merit, follow her on Twitter. 1, because she's smart. 2, because she's hilarious. And 3, because she has organized a bundle of adult-oriented content games for abortion access. It's on itch.io. I do believe the bundle is called Horny for Abortion Access. And the reason she organized this is because a lot of these developers wanted to put their games in other abortion access bundles, but they were denied due to the content. I do believe you can find it on her Twitter. Her Twitter is at Adatoriate. That's AETATAUREATE. It's Latin. It's a thing. Or you could probably search her the display name on Twitter, which is Berserk du Soleil. So Caroline rules, and this bundle is $7. I believe she's already raised close to $1,000 with this bundle. So check it out. I have purchased, but I have not tried the games yet. But I will.
All right, cool. All right, Stephanie.
You guys, or meaning the listeners, can find me on the internets at Klimov_author. And Wednesday nights, I lost my train of thought, Boss Rush podcast, my articles on bossrush.net. And LeRon, thank you. I know I've been kind of slacking on After Dark topics. I promise I'll bring one for
Slapping
next
it
week.
on After Dark.
Slapping. My mind is somewhere
That
else.
sounds like a topic by itself.
Tune in next Wednesday.
See what Stephanie was really thinking about.
Whatever. We're all one big team here, right, Corey?
Yep.
Yeah. Where can everybody find you at?
You can find me at IamCoreyHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block and Standard Definition and the Boss Rush podcast and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
Cool. And as always, you can find me on social media by looking me up at Exodus803. That's also my YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as my PlayStation Network ID and my Steam ID. And don't forget, Tuesday nights on my YouTube channel, the Crossroads Video Game Podcast, where me and some friends talk about all things PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and maybe a little bit more. We love you guys. Like it's been fun. You know what it is. This has been Boss Rush After Dark. I don't know. This is the premium show now. I feel like it. This is the premium show for the Boss Rush
Hell
Network.
yeah.
Yeah, where we talk about everything that's not always content appropriate for our other anchor shows. So you guys have a good night. Exercise some good mental and physical health while you're out there. And, take care of yourselves because you only have one life to live. But have a little bit of fun while you live it.
Stay hydrated.
YOLO.
Definitely. Stay hydrated. All right, everyone. Good night. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Stephanie said YOLO.
Yes.